Hi Aquarius, welcome to my channel, Soulight Hypnotherapy. My name is Kirsten, and I have your intimate desires reading for the month of March. I'm not doing intimate desires for everybody this month. Aquarius requested it. An Aquarius reader or listener requested it. So I'm just kind of like reading whatever layout or cards I feel like led to read for whatever sign this month. So since there was a request, I'm going to do an intimate desires reading. It's not the full intimate desires. It's going to be and you have to be having sex in order for this reading to apply for you so I'm sorry for any Aquarians who are celibate or not involved right now. This reading probably won't assist you. Sorry. So I'm thinking, do I want to do this now? I hate to exclude other people who aren't, just because you're not having sex. But anyway, this reading right now applies only to those who have a sex life or the opportunity to have sex. You know, they're in the market for it. You know, it could happen. They're not denying themselves. The first card is going to be what you're wanting from your partner sexually. The second card will be what your partner is wanting from you, and the third card will be the outcome. Okay, so any message that appears, we ask that it be a viable message for the Aquarians that are listening and watching. What are your intimate desires, Aquarius, and what are your partner's intimate desires? How is that going to, what's the result of that in the month of March, you know? And then, I don't know, let's add one more card. At the end, we can do a final card that's, what do you recommend Aquarius add to their sex life or be aware of in regards to their sex life that will, you know, improve it and improve their well-being overall, you know, in regards to sex. So like an advice card. So what you're bringing to the table is the Five of Spades. What your partner is bringing to the table is the Seven of Wands. The result of that is the Temperance card. And I'm going to just pull your advice card from the bottom. It's your advice. Queen of the Empress. Alright. So give me a while to look over the cards and then we'll get back to your reading. So even though I have it in the disclaimer, I just want to say this is a sex reading, so messages are sexual in nature, sexual content, sexual pictures on the tarot card. So if you're under the age of 18, please don't watch. That being said, please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get started. This is your card, Aquarius. It's the Five of Swords. This is a card about degrading sexuality, degrading one's sexuality. So I'm feeling like there's some sort of shame involved in the sex that you're having or that you offer to your lover. Some of you are doing something that you're ashamed of and you may feel degraded by it. And some of you may be feeling degraded by your partner or being made to feel ashamed of your body or of your sexual performance. This is a mistreatment. This is abuse. Okay? And if you're putting up with it, in a sense, you're you know, outside of rape, there's choices involved. And to be involved is a choice. So, how do you feel about you, Aquarius? Starts with you. And it's because you are ashamed about something. You don't feel worthy of more. You're allowing this behavior through vibrating with it, through identifying with it. I'm not trying to kick the victim. You are being mistreated, but there's something in you that has called this to you. And then some of you, this is an energy of, oh, well, I'm going to have sex with this person because so-and-so didn't treat me right, and I'll show them and I'm going to get revenge. So some of you might be having sex to get revenge on a partner, having an affair or sleeping with someone because you feel mistreated by your partner. So that's what's going on with you, Aquarius. Now, the person that you're dealing with is represented by the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is someone who goes on the attack and always has to win. This is the aggressor. This is this person is challenging you. This person is maybe aggressive towards you, or maybe you have to fight off competition for this person. But you feel like this person has won over on you, and that's why some of you feel like you want revenge. And then some of you, this person is just kind of a prick. And kind of a dominator, That's just they're jolly. That's the jolly they get. And that makes them feel like powerful and to have power over others. So there's some kind of weird dynamic here is being spelled out of, someone is degrading someone else, and they get off on it. And then the person who is being degraded has to take some responsibility for the nature of this relationship. Because why do you feel like that's what you deserve? Why do you stay with it? Maybe we'll see that in the advice card. I'll look for that answer in the advice card. There's something this person wants you to do or has done that requires secrecy, discretion, because you would be ashamed if it got out. Somebody would be ashamed if it got out. And or this person is making you do a sexual act that you are ashamed of. Some of you might not be comfortable with anal sex, and maybe your partner is coming at you with that. And I feel like they accomplish the task. Right? They get a victory over you. They get what you want. There's shame involved here for you. Somehow, I'm not saying that is an act that anyone has to feel degraded about. I'm just saying that's an example. If someone is not in agreement with that could cause them to feel ashamed. There's something that's happening in the sexual in the sex life of Aquarius that they're ashamed of, or that allows the partner that's in their life to rule over them and have some kind of dominance or control over them. But you're allowing this. And the person that you're dealing with is like I said, kind of a prick. And they are who they are. They're not going to change. Okay? With the Temperance card as the result, how does this all work out for you? Just from your perspective. You got the Temperance card. I think you accept it as your duty. See how she's continuing to pour the wine and serve the food and doing her duty under the table? Maybe you discount the action as, oh, you know, it's just purely physical. It's nothing more than that, you know. Maybe if they're having affairs or whatever, it's like you're coming up with justification for how you're balancing out or coping with your situation. So some of you may be having revenge sex because someone mistreated you, and there's justification for that. But you stay in the relationship. That's what I see. I see you coping with it, the relationship, and justifying it so that you can stay in it. And learning to accommodate it, you're learning to accommodate the nature of it, which means it's having an effect on you, a compliancy. You understand? You're becoming complacent to it. So it's changing you, Aquarius. Are these good changes? Only you can answer that. You will. You'll justify it. You just want to get along. You just want to make this work. You just want to go along to get along, so you can keep what you have and keep things balanced, keep the peace. You know, so you're putting up with this behavior. But you're not doing anything to change it. You're complying with it, and you're adapting to it. Aquarius, some of you might be dealing with a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. Possibly a Libra or a Taurus. Okay? And your advice card is the Empress. What was the question I was looking for? I wanted to understand. I can't remember the question. Shoot. Darn it. I don't want to have to listen back to this. Let me just read what the Empress is. This is someone who's very open and natural sexually, and fluid. So there's no cap on the enjoyment of sex. There's no inhibition in the Empress. And I feel like this is actually what your partner wants from you. Okay? So if you want to know what will appease your partner, they want you to be more fluid. They want you to be more natural, less inhibited. They don't want you to cap your enjoyment. They don't want you to cap their enjoyment. They want you to be open in the relationship, or allow them to be open in the relationship. And they want you to be available to provide. Whatever it is that they want. Okay, so I'm finding that I get a lot of sex workers watching these readings in particular. So that is what your I guess, I mean, not all sex workers are females, but can I just say John and just leave it at that and not have to be politically correct and name everybody? That is what your customers want from you. They want you to be very sensuous. They want you to be very creative sexually and uninhibited. And I think some of you are struggling with that. There was some sort of degradation in your past that has brought you to this present. And rather than deal with those energies and to enjoy the pleasures and the luxuries of your life, or that this life is bringing to you, you are learning to comply and go along with these actions that are not healthy or conducive to your spirit. They're more eroding to your spirit. Okay? And there's so much more to you than this. There's so much more to you than this. That's a message for some of you. And then for some of you, if you want to prosper and keep the peace, then you're going to have to become more like this Empress. And become more open-minded and heal your inhibitions. And that may be through self-talk therapy, coping drugs, I don't know. But you've got to do something too. If you want to continue and prosper, you're going to have to heal these inhibitions. That's your message. So I hope that made sense to you guys. I hope that it brought you some kind of guidance. But that's what's going on in your sex life. This message isn't for all Aquarians. It's take the parts that resonated with you. Those are the messages that are for you. And leave the rest. But I always see the same story in Aquarius readings. I feel Aquarius is in it for the money, or in it for the, not all of you, but the messages I keep getting in my readings for Aquarius, is you're in it for the, comforts. You're in the relationship for the comforts, for the outer, superficial comforts of it. But it's doing damage to your spirit. Because you're not comfortable with it. So, in order for it not to do damage to your spirit, okay, because everything exists in the mind, in order for it not to do damage to your spirit, you have to release your inhibitions and maybe resolve a past history, forgive someone, forgive yourself, come to some kind of, get out of conflict with your lifestyle. And learn to accept your lifestyle and stop fighting it. So, you know, maybe some kind of therapy is needed, although I feel that instead some of you may be using drugs or alcohol to cope, to make that transition when it needs to be done in a more mental end. So I know that's kind of deep, but sex readings are deep. Sex readings are not frivolous. So I hope that you enjoyed your reading, Aquarius, and you took some guidance from it. Blessings. Bye-bye.